Alex Eala just got her Wimbledon draw, and it is loaded. First round, Renata Zarazua. Win that, and Serena Williams could be waiting in round 2. Get past Serena, and Iga Swiatek is lurking further down. The draw gods handed Alex Eala the most cinematic path possible, and she is going to walk straight through it. Drop a Philippine flag in the comments if you are already locked in for this Wimbledon run, because we need to break down exactly what this draw means and why the timing of it could not be more perfect. Let's start with the first round opponent, because Renata Zarazua deserves a proper introduction before we talk about what comes after. Zarazua is the world number 76 from Mexico, 28 years old, and she is making her 3rd Wimbledon main draw appearance. This is not a player who is just happy to be here. In 2024, she lost to Emma Raducanu in round 1. No shame in that. Last year, she leveled up and made it to round 2 before falling to Amanda Anisimova, 6-4, 6-3. She improves every single year at this tournament. She knows the grass, she is comfortable in the Wimbledon environment, and she has match wins here on her record that most players at her ranking don't. There's also the history between these two. Zarazua and Eala played doubles together at last year's French Open, reaching the 2nd round as a team. So this isn't a first meeting between strangers. They know each other's games. They've shared a court on the same side of the net, which means they've also seen each other's weaknesses up close. Zarazua knows what Alex brings, but Alex knows what she has to take apart. And right now, Alex Eala on grass takes apart almost everyone. Here's the context that makes this draw timing genuinely perfect. Alex Eala just finished the most dominant grass court swing of her career. This is not a player arriving at Wimbledon to find her game. She arrives here having already found it weeks ago. She opened the grass season by winning the Birmingham Open, a WTA 125, coming through Nikola Bartunkova in a final that went the distance. Title in the bag, confidence loaded. Then she moved up to the HSBC Championships and reached the round of 16 against genuinely strong competition. Then Berlin, a WTA 500, one of the deepest grass events outside of Wimbledon itself, and she went all the way to the semifinals. Her only defeat across the entire grass swing came at Bad Homburg, where she lost in the opening round. Before that, 8 wins from 9 matches on this surface. That is not a hot streak, that is a pattern. And here's the number that should matter most heading into this draw. Alex Eala on grass in 2026 is 8-1. 8 wins, 1 loss. That record includes a WTA 125 title, a round of 16 at a WTA 500, and a semifinal run at another WTA 500 in just her tournament debut. The footwork is sharp, the serve is landing, the ball striking on fast courts is a genuine weapon. She is not arriving at Wimbledon hoping to get right. She is arriving locked in and dangerous. Compare that to her Wimbledon debut last year. She drew Barbara Krejcikova in round 1, the defending champion. Lost 3-6, 6-2, 6-1. She got games on the board, showed grit, but Krejcikova was the better player that day on that stage. Eala walked off with experience, with the knowledge of what this court feels like under her feet, and with the hunger to come back stronger. 12 months later, the gap between where she was and where she is right now is enormous. She goes from Wimbledon debutante with no grass results to back her up, to a player arriving on a 9-match grass court run with a title and a semifinal already in her bag. That is a different person stepping onto that court. Now, here's where it gets truly special. Because if Eala gets through Zarazua, which she should, and which I fully expect her to, the player waiting in a round 2 could be Serena Williams. Serena, the GOAT, 8-time Wimbledon champion. She is back at 44 years old, walking back into the most iconic tennis venue in the world, and the atmosphere around her on that court is going to be unlike anything else happening at this tournament. Every point Serena plays at Wimbledon feels like history. The crowd is going to be electric for her from the first ball. Playing against Serena Williams at Wimbledon isn't just a tennis match, it's an event. The whole world stops and watches. And Alex Eala could be standing across that net. Here's what makes that possibility so compelling. This is exactly the kind of moment where careers are defined. Not in the matches you're supposed to win, in the moments where everything is stacked against you and you deliver anyway. A 20-year-old from the Philippines in just her second Wimbledon, facing the greatest player in the history of the sport on the grandest grass stage in the world. If Alex wins that match, the whole planet knows her name. Not just tennis fans, everyone. But let's also be honest about what makes that match hard beyond just the tennis. Serena at Wimbledon means 15,000 people in that stadium willing one player to win, and it's not going to be Alex. The crowd energy, the history, the weight of the moment, all of it pushes against whoever is on the other side of the net. Managing that environment while also playing high-level grass court tennis is a test that has broken tougher players than most. The good news? Alex Eala this season has shown she does not shrink in big moments. She goes bigger. At Indian Wells, she beat Coco Gauff. At Miami, she pushed deep into the second week. At Berlin, she took down the world number 2 in Rybakina and followed it up the next day against a top 10 player with no time to recover. Every time the stage got bigger, the performance matched it. That is not coincidence. That is a player who genuinely rises when the lights are brightest. And then beyond Serena, Iga Swiatek is potentially sitting further along in this draw. Iga, the world number 1, at Wimbledon, the surface that has historically been her least comfortable of the 4 slams. On clay, she is basically unkillable. On grass, the margins tighten. The game becomes about aggression, about pace, about taking the ball early and dictating before rallies develop. That is exactly how Alex plays on grass right now. It is not a foregone conclusion either way. It is the kind of match that, if it happens, keeps you on the edge of your seat from the first point. The seeding picture also matters here. Alex's grass court points from Birmingham and Berlin could be enough to lock in a seeded position at Wimbledon for the first time in her career. If that comes through, it changes her side of the draw and could open up an even cleaner path through the early rounds. Every win from the Berlin run is adding to that number right now. Here's where I land. Round 1 against Zarazua, Eala wins. She's the better player on this surface at this moment in time. She knows Zarazua's game inside and out from their doubles run together, and she is carrying form that very few players on the WTA Tour can match on grass right now. Zarazua is a tough out. She won't make it easy. But Alex has been beating tough opponents all month and doing it comfortably. Round 2 against Serena, if it materializes, that is must-watch tennis for the entire planet. And based on everything Alex has shown this grass swing, I genuinely believe she has the tools to win it. Alex Eala at Wimbledon 2026. The draw is out. The stage is set. She has been building toward exactly this kind of moment all season long, and she is ready. Subscribe if you want the full breakdown of every match. The Wimbledon run starts now. Let's go!